You might be causing more problems for your customers when you sell them your product. And in this podcast, I want to tell you a personal story of how we got to know about some of these problems we were causing for our customers and how we actually grew our business like crazy by creating extra products and solutions for them. My name is Cornel Ladigan, co-founder of BizVideo. The purpose of this podcast is to take you on a journey of how we use story to grow our business. Thank you for joining me today. We actually started this business in 2011, so I think in February 2011. And 2010, so December 2010, my wife and I got married in South Africa. The whole family went over to South Africa. It was a beautiful wedding and like a vineyard and so on. And then we had a honeymoon in Cape Town. It was just amazing. So, like this honeymoon period is just like the most exciting time of your life. And we actually came back to Australia and I'm like happily married. This is great, fantastic. And then one night, it hit me really, really hard. I'm like, we need to start looking for a house, right? Because we just came back, staying at mum and dad's. And I'm like, I have to provide for my wife. I have to get a place. And then the thing is, at this time, I was actually like freelancing and so on. So I was out of university for probably about 2 years by this stage. Freelancing, doing a few little jobs, odd jobs here and there for businesses and so on. And I had no secure like income, dependable income. I didn't have a 9 to 5 and I get paid every single week. It was very sporadic. I can't even say the word. Anyway, so we just got back from South Africa and I'm just like, man, how are we going to do this? Now at the time, Andre was actually studying. So he was finishing up. He was literally finishing up this month and when we started this business. And I said, Andre, let's start this business together. There's a great opportunity here. Businesses actually need what we do here. And, I was like, okay, well, and he said, yeah, fantastic. Let's start this business. And, we were working from home. So by this time I actually got my house. So we were renting this place in like near Burleigh, like in Reedy Creek here on the Gold Coast. And every single week I was paying rent, still fearing and struggling. I'm like, how are we going to keep paying the rent? How am I going to actually look after my wife here? And you know what, the thing is, as an older brother as well, like I felt really responsible for Andre. He just got out of university. So in my mind, I'm like, I've got to make this work. I've got to make this business work so that I can, look after my wife and then also have something there for Andre, my business partner, my brother. And so at the time we're like, okay, cool. We'll package together some videos and so on. So we were selling like a business video or 5 videos, and it was a bit all over the place, to be honest. And I'd go to BNI and I'd network. That's how I got all my clients at the time. So every week I would go BNI. I'd get up, have the bad breakfast, get up, do the infomercial, and say, hey, we do video. Video's awesome. You should get video. It'll change your business. All these things. And I feel like, I was a little bit ahead of time because you've got to take yourself back to 2011 now. Like not everyone even had smartphones. It's crazy. Like iPhone literally, I think it was like the 2nd generation iPhone or something that just came out. No one had the 1st generation. I can't even remember anyone having that. So this is the time where they were still going on their computers to watch videos. Video wasn't even that big, especially in Australia. So, I was thinking, how can we help more businesses? And how do we get ourselves out there? It's a bit of a struggle. Like, how do we find new clients? And, sales were really slow. I'd have a couple of meetings here and there, prospects, and then we'll have a conversation. And the conversion rate was really low, So our videos, the only reason why people really, I think signed up with us because they either felt sorry for us, they thought we were nice, because I was nice and positive in the meetings and everything else like that, or they might have been, an early adopter, so to speak. So they go, well, video is going to be a big thing, so let's adopt to this right now. And they always came back with this thing like, yeah, I've got to go think about it. So when I'm in a meeting there, presented the video, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, feel the same thing. You present what you have, and the client goes, yeah, let me go. I'll go think about it, and or I'll go talk to my wife. And every time I was like smiling, and then as soon as the meeting's over, I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like this seriously sucks. It can't be this hard. And the thing is, like every now and then we did get a sale over. It was amazing. So over the years, you know, we got better and better at what we were doing. We actually started doing this thing where we help our clients, you know, plan the videos a little bit better. So back in the day, we were calling it like scripting and so on, and that evolved to what it is now, story development session. So the last few years, we've been calling it a story development session. And you know, one day I was sitting in front of a prospect. We were actually like at McDonald's or Zarafis. I can't remember exactly, like 5 years ago or so. And I still remember like the coffee I had. You know, first of all, when I opened, I ordered like a long black. And you know, you've got to keep in mind, you're sitting in front of a prospect, you've got to be super positive and like, yeah, everything's awesome. I opened this coffee, and you know when you go to drink it, it just burns your tongue, you know. And that wasn't the only thing. Like, it was just the most disgusting long black coffee ever. I was like, man, this coffee really sucks. And anyway, I kept positive and everything else like this. And for some reason, I'm not sure what happened. I think the prospect actually asked me like, okay, well, how do we plan this stuff? And I said, oh, well, we'll come in and we'll do this and we'll plan it this way. And, you know, something went off in my prospect's eye. So he was like, hey, that's interesting. So before that, he was like, oh yeah, cool, videos are cool. I was showing him all the videos. And, you know, when I told him about this story development session, again, it wasn't story development session at that stage. It evolved to that, you know, he's like, that's a good idea. Now I can actually see this is how we're going to actually plan this, you know. And, you know, surely I booked him there and then. He's like, yeah, let's roll, let's do this. I've got faith in what you guys do. And, you know, when I actually left that meeting in the car, I called Andre up. I'm like, Andre, we got the deal. It was amazing. Like, because you've got to understand, you know, like we literally just started our business. I think this was like 3 years in when I caught up with this prospect now. And I was like, man, got a good deal. It's awesome company. We're gonna do some awesome videos for them, and really excited. We're going to get paid, and we're gonna. This really helps our portfolio and everything else like that. So everything was awesome. And then what I started doing was like I started, you know, putting this into, you know, my presentation. I'm like, hey, we're going to do this session where we plan your videos and so on. And I made it even better, you know. So every time I'll go into a little bit more detail. And then every prospect, like every meeting I have, I tell them a little bit more about this particular story development session that we were doing, so that I can really envision it. And it was working. Like more and more people started booking. Like at that time, now we've got about 50% of people that I'm sitting in front of actually going, yep, let's do this. Sounds awesome. And but the thing is, that's still 50%. So only 50% of people were actually converting, and it was good. But the thing is, I wanted to help more people, okay? That's the honest truth. I want to help more businesses that are good businesses, they're ethical, they help people, they bring good value, they solve awesome problems. And I'm like, I've got to get in front of more of these people and solve more of their problems. I've got to convert the other 50%. If not the whole 50%, or at least another 40%, so 90%. So I started asking questions to my clients. I'm like, when we create a video for you, what problems does it actually create for you? And they're like, huh? What do you mean? Like, the videos are awesome. Like, people actually understand what we do now, and they convert. And I'm like, no. Like, seriously, like, I had to explain it. And I was explaining it. I'm like, what problems does it create for you? You know, like, anyway. So I'm like, I stopped right there. I was like, how about I just tell a story, an analogy, because that's what we do. We're storytellers. Maybe they will actually understand it this way. So I started telling the story about the last time I bought a car. So number one, I had a problem, okay? The problem was I had an older car, right? I had like this 1999 Toyota Camry, and with LPG gas. So a few years ago, like, I don't know, I can't remember when, but the government actually rebated us. They gave us this grant to put in LPG gas, and LPG is like 70 cents a litre, so it was a no-brainer. So, but then that thing was starting to play up. So, you know, everywhere I drive, in the middle of the roundabout, it'll backfire, like, wow! And then everyone in the car was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. And then other times, again, in the middle of roundabouts, I'm not sure why, the car would actually just stall, like completely just go off. Power steering would go off, and you're like, crazy. Anyway, and so I'm like, I've got to solve this problem. I've got to get a new car. This car is well and truly, it's over, you know. And by this time, we were actually making some money. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go buy a new car. We were buying a new car. then some of these extra problems started happening. Things like not when I finished buying the car, but at the time I was buying the car. It's like insurance. Oh crap! What am I going to do with insurance? If I don't have insurance, then this and this and this could happen. So not having insurance is a problem. The next thing was like, okay, well, how am I going to finance this? I said, yeah, we were making some money, but that's cash flow. So we had to get some financing. And the next thing was like, services. Right at that stage, we didn't have to service it or anything at that specific time. But you can see all these problems coming up. Now, the people that sold me the car, they obviously tried getting, helping me with finance, and I'm not even sure if they even asked me about insurance. But if I was telling my clients, like, if I was that car dealer, what I would have done was like, look how many problems you're creating for your client by giving them this car. Now, how can you actually solve it? So like the car needs to be washed. Well, how about they actually upsell me or include it in my package, car washes for a year or whatever. So we can bring in your car every week and wash it. So giving me solutions to all these different problems I'm having. And the thing about that is they're actually helping me. I will value that more. And the other thing is their revenue will grow like crazy because they're actually helping me even more. So I use this analogy, and then they actually understood, which is great. Now, my client said, okay, cool, you're helping us create this video, right? You're creating this video for us, you're helping us plan it, but then they said a big problem is they actually don't know how to get it out there. So how do we actually get this video seen by all their ideal customers and clients and so on? So how do we distribute it and everything else like that? And I told Andre, I'm like, man, we have to come up with an idea to help our clients even more. Okay, so we brainstormed a couple of ideas. I don't know if you guys can see. We're in the new office here. So the old office, we also had like a similar glass window, like in the back there. So we were brainstorming everything on this glass window. And one thing we said was, okay, well, we'll do it for them. We'll when we finish the video, we'll help them get it out on Facebook. We'll create some ads for Facebook and help them as much as possible. Even as far as like helping them like make sure the video goes on the right place on the website. It's crazy. We get so many clients that actually get videos with us, and then, this is more in the past, but where it doesn't even end up on the website because they get busy. I'm like, man, you just invested so much money and time into creating this video, and it's not even on your website. Like that's a place where people go to watch your video. So now, then at that stage, we're like, okay, cool. How are we going to help them with this? Well, we should probably talk to their web designer, send them an embed code so they can it just happens, And then the next thing, so number one was like, yeah, do it for them. So I just went off track there. The second thing is like, how about we create like an online course where we teach our customers, our clients, to like how to get this video out there. So because that way they can have this course and do it in their own time. They can actually log into their Facebook and their YouTube and everything else like that and just do it step by step. Or they can actually just give this course to a marketing manager or like someone like an assistant or something that will help them get this video out there. So we actually created this course. But then the next thing is like, how am I going to actually get it out there and overcome even more problems for them with this course? And the result was like people actually signed up even more. All right, so that conversion rate actually went to 90% because they could see this extra value. There was a big difference, like from a couple of years ago when we were just selling a video. Now we're selling a video. We're actually, helping them plan it, and we're actually, helping them getting it out there. So it was just amazing. So why is this all important? The thing is, we're actually talking to people that have problems every single day, right? And you're coming in with your business and you're solving some of those problems for them. But now you might be solving one problem for them. But you're creating 4 extra problems for them. So where are they going to wash their car? Where are they going to get insurance? Where are they going to get finance? So what type of solutions can you actually put in place to help your customer even more? And the thing is, you can actually use this in your meetings, So you might be doing this already. Right? You might be financing the car, you might be washing the car and all those things already. But the thing is, your messaging doesn't say it. So what I would suggest is you actually start communicating this over to your clients, in your meetings, in the stories that you tell, right? So your business overview film as an example, or even like other content that you produce. So it might be content videos, or it might be emails that you send out. Make sure people know about these extra solutions that you're actually helping them with when they buy that core offering. The thing is, like, it's like a win-win-win here, right? Or a win-win. You're actually you're creating solutions that'll solve even more of these problems. So what happens? Your client is extremely happy, okay? Because not only did you solve that one problem, but you're solving more problems for them now. So you can either, put this in a package, or you can upsell them, or you can actually just give it for free, as a bit of a like value add, in their life. Because again, now you'll get more referrals and they'll come back to you more. And I would suggest this is kind of like what we did in a way, but then afterwards it made me think, how can we do this even better? Go to a whiteboard, all right, and write out your product and service. You might even have a few products and services, right? You might have service 1, service 2, service 3. Go write down service 1, and then around it, like a mind map, go bullet point or write out what problems are you actually creating because of that core offering. And then once you identify that problem, the solution will be so clear. We're like, well, we've got this car wash maybe next door. Let's arrange something with them where we, give them a free voucher or something. So a little bit of a collaboration or something. The solution will become really clear. And then you can actually create that to create extra value. And the thing that you'll find is your business will grow like crazy, because now you're not competing with the next door competitor. Your service or your product might have been a commodity before this, right? Like us with like video, like people can go just to another video place. But when soon our clients actually realize, like, hey, BizVideo doesn't just do video here. We tell stories, and we're going to solve this problem, like the story development. We're going to do the marketing and distribution, and we're going to help them with it, or we're going to give them a course. We're going to actually do all these things, right? So we actually have like 10 other products that I haven't even spoken about today that we actually bunch up and package together for our clients, that other people just won't be doing. So if you can do that, you will stand out like crazy, and you will just become the obvious choice. So the thing is, the biggest key point here, right, is once you've identified these solutions, like these problems and how you can solve them, make sure you communicate them. Make sure people know about it. So your sales guys, make sure they talk about this. Make sure they've got, something in writing that shows, hey, we're going to give this an extra. Make sure it's on all your social media posts. Make sure it's in your business video. Make sure it's in your case study video. This is a really important one, right? So a lot of our clients get multiple case studies. It's crazy. So we've got a couple of clients that do at least 2 or 3 case studies per month because it works so well. Now, in each of these case studies, we make sure that the message that come across, I'm not even going to go into how we structure case studies for now, or the stories that we tell in case studies, but we make sure that message actually includes, like, hey, yeah, I bought this car, and in my mind, I thought, actually, you know what, now I've got to service it. Now I've got to get it financed. Now I've got to wash it. And the great thing was, like, XYZ company, one thing that I really valued was the car wash service they have, or the finance team that really made it transparent for us. So, if they go to other car places, they probably won't find it. And that's just an example. The car one might be a bad example because they might be doing this. But again, if you're in a business that maybe you've identified these problems a few years ago, because you saw that your competitors were doing it. So you were like, our competitor down the street is now offering this as an extra. In your mind, you didn't even think about the problem it was solving for them, for your client, but you're like, oh, I'm gonna create that too. So now this is your chance to now go reevaluate everything, look at what you're doing, and go, what other problems, right, can I solve for my clients? So what problems actually happen? And if you can dig really deep and forget about your product for a second here, think about their life. So how are you actually going to make their life a lot easier, right? Because the thing is, honestly, we don't create videos here. I always say, yeah, we create stories that connect and engage people, but we don't even do that, right? What's the next step? We actually help clients get more clients. But again, that's not what we do. What's the problem we solve for them? there. Well, if they don't have clients, they don't have a business. The business will probably shut down. Okay, well, if the business shuts down, what happens then? The employees get fired or like let off, and then what other problems does that create for the director or the founder? Well, they have a failed business. Now we're talking about relationships and family. It's crazy. So go really deep on what problems you can solve for your clients. I hope this have helped you. If you have any other ideas, I would love your feedback. Make sure that you subscribe. I will be publishing new, video podcasts and podcasts like this. And share it. If you feel like this has been valuable, please share it. It'll mean the world to me. Have a fantastic day.